Hello and welcome back to my Shimmer Block Survival series. This is the 8th episode, and on the last episode we managed to kill the Wall of Flesh. We managed to get the Firecracker, and we managed to get a Demon Heart, which expanded our inventory space, and we managed to get a little damage increaser as well from the Wall of Flesh, so we will be able to shimmer that and increase any sort of damage that we need throughout this playthrough. Now let's start talking about early hard mode a little bit. So now that the Wall of Flesh is done, the spirits of dark and light have been released, and now we need to go into the game world, and we need to find a way that we can make this world work for us. And one of the easiest ways to make this world work for us is through creating the hard mode biomes and any biomes that we don't have right now. Currently there are 4 biomes that we don't have. The frozen biome, the ash biome, or the hell biome, the Hallow, and then the Corruption. And by the time this video is done, I'm going to show you guys how to get every single biome in your world. So I got to work making the Hollow biome to start, and let me tell you, I found a ton of mimics on this route. And if you didn't know, by killing the Wall of Flesh, I allowed the mimics to now drop their hard mode equivalent items. So I made a lot of cash very quickly from this, and managed to get a good fishing spot up for the Hollow. Next came the Corruption. Now the Corruption is pretty easy to get as well. It comes with the Dryad, of course, and any of you guys that have played hard mode Terraria or any sort of thing like that knows that if you put enough graves around a Dryad, they will sell the opposite seed to what your biome world started as. So in this case, by just putting a ton of graves around the Dryad, I am able to buy the Corruption seeds, and thus I am able to solve the issue of getting the Corruption. Now for this biome setup, I went a little bit more elaborate than what I did with the Hallow. With the Hallow, I just kind of did a straight frame with a fishing pool. In this case, I made kind of a box with a fishing pool as well, and there's one reason for that. Those of you that are astute probably noticed it as well. The one chest on this map has a corruption key in place of it. So in order to unlock whatever the map creator has hidden behind that chest, then we are going to need the corruption key. So we're obviously going to be spending a lot of time here. So having a good, easily farmable location is going to be key to getting that chest key after we beat Plantera. So, now that we have all the biomes squared away, we could go ahead and sink our teeth into hard mode. Or we could go ahead and do a blood moon on literally the second day that we got into hard mode. I was definitely getting my tail handed to me, but I finally managed to kill one clown, and there was a light at the end of the tunnel. A weapon that would change this run forever. The Banana Rain was a godsend. On the second day of hard mode, getting a weapon this excellent early on in the run was amazing. Not only that, but this is not a surefire drop from clowns. This is something that is kind of a little bit of a rare drop from them. So getting it like this early on is like getting an Uzi from an angry trapper on the first kill. It is just outstanding RNG, and because of that, I got a weapon that would be able to compete with all the mimics, with all the hard mode enemies that could just absolutely rip my face off, and now it gives me an opportunity to go after the harder mimics and get better and better weapons. Of course, the game decided that my luck should not just run out with just the banana rains, so it decided to send me a traveling merchant. And inside the merchant was the Sergeant United Shield. I didn't even notice it at the front. Guys, I have never had this item in any run in Terraria whatsoever. If you guys have never used this item, I've obviously used it a lot of this episode. The Sergeant United Shield is one of the best farming melee weapons in the game, in my opinion. It automatically targets enemies. You don't even have to do much except just right click. It is the perfect AFK weapon for just getting stuff done. And I know when I'm going to need that corruption key, this is going to be a perfect weapon on top of some other bosses that would be really good with this shield. So now that I had some really good early hard mode weapons like the banana rain and the shield, I decided to go ahead and go after the hard mode mimics and try to get some of their more rare drops, such as the dart rifle and the dataless store bow especially. I kept getting my tail handed to me in the hollow, so I decided, hey, let's go try the jungle, let's go see if things will be a little bit better there. Yeah, things were not better there. After dying spectacularly to every enemy in the Hallow, the Corruption, the Crimson, and the Jungle, I decided that it was probably time that we go fishing and try to get some better armor. So for those of you that don't know, typically in Terraria, you break an altar and you get hard mode ores that you can mine up. Well, we only have one altar. So we might at best be able to get cobalt or palladium. So the best way to get the ore is by opening up pearlwood crates, mithril crates, or titanium crates, and getting the select bars. But it's not that easy. You see, there are specific things that we need for some of those hard mode ores to process. And in one case, adamantite and titanium, if we just get the ore, we actually can't process it. You see, orchithelia, mithril, palladium, and cobalt can all be processed at a normal forge. Adamantium and titanium cannot. They must be processed at an adamantite or a titanium forge, which presents an issue. The issue being we don't have a hell forge to do that with. So, when we get titanium crates, we have to specifically get the bars. We can process the bars because we can make an orchithelium anvil or a mithril anvil, but we cannot make the forge. So that is one of the reasons why I never got full health before the Wall of Flesh, because I knew we would have to come back here and fish up more golden crates, which are now titanium crates, which will probably put us to full health eventually. Also, if I haven't mentioned this before, the trees down here are amber trees. If you didn't know, amber is one of the primary components for crate potions. You get more crate potions, you get more sonar potions, you get more fishing potions, you get more titanium crates. One thing I heavily recommend to anyone that is playing this series, make sure you got snow blocks going and getting Shiverthorn as soon as possible when you get dirt. And make sure that you are finding amber squirrels and amber bunnies, and make sure you're turning those into gem corns, because you're going to need it. And then the worst thing possible happened. I was in the Crimson, killing some stuff for some ichor so I can make some ichor flasks, and then a mechanical eye dropped. And that's when I realized just how difficult my life was about to become. You see, I did not realize that this was the full Get Fixed Boy seed. I thought that this might have been Don't Dig Up and a combination of a few other seeds. I didn't realize at the time that the full Get Fixed Boy seed is on right now. We're only in Master Mode, not Legendary Mode, but it's enough to scare me realizing that the first mechanical boss is all of the mechanical bosses at once. So not only are we playing a Shimmer Skyblock map where we are restricted in some terms in what we can do, but now we also have to figure out how we beat, in my opinion, one of the hardest bosses for the phase that we're in. This resulted in a small amount of psychosis and resulted in the purchase of 20 or so pizza posters and in the creation of what I would like to call Pizza Poster Alley. After making Pizza Poster Alley, I decided it was time to get to work. So I got to slay mimics as much as I possibly could, and I got to work on getting as many fishing crates as I possibly could, so we could A, increase our health, and then B, get as much armor as we possibly can. I didn't get too good of a draw on my first titanium crates, so I took all the adamantite ore that I did get, and I turned it into mithril so I could turn it into an anvil, so we could go ahead and start producing some hard mode weapons. Somewhere along the line, I got the idea that maybe I was good enough to beat the Queen Slime, so I decided, you know what, let's buff up, we got banana rains. Who cares that I only have 260 health and still am wearing Crimtane armor. Not even Hellstone armor, guys. Crimtane armor. And yeah. I actually didn't do too bad on this fight, to be fair. I got her all the way down to the second phase before she just absolutely eviscerated me with her ads. But it felt pretty good at the time. So I went down and I kept doing my grinding and I kept looking for some mimics. And finally, I got the item I was looking for, the Daedalus Storm Bow. I took that Daedalus Storm Bow and I immediately went up and got that thing reforged because I think there was another chance that I might be able to beat the Queen Slime with just this bow. Unfortunately, she still got the best of me though. I just don't have enough health, I don't have enough armor. So I clearly had a path to go on and try to find a way to get better armor and get more health in order to start fighting the Queen Slime. Hey, do you guys remember those last two biomes that we needed to get? Oh yeah, the Hell biome and the Frozen biome. Do you guys want to know how we get those biomes? Well, here's the answer. It is called a jungle mimic. The jungle mimics are a unique variant of the corrupt and hollowed mimics that we would usually see that drops various items. You see, these mimics are special. They have a very special attack called the Stuff Cannon. And as you can see, when it uses the Stuff Cannon, it tosses a variety of blocks around the area. I don't know if you just saw, but I just got some ash blocks. On top of that, it's also throwing around ice bricks, snow blocks, snow bricks, and other useful materials that we can shimmer and then turn in to other blocks that would be able to help us make an ice biome and then a hell biome. While I was farming, a traveling merchant came by and was selling the Gatligator. The Gatligator is a very inaccurate gun, but it is on par with the Mega Shark and the Uzi as far as damage goes. So I definitely decided to buy this thing and get this thing reforged to the Unreal modifier as soon as possible. With this, combined with the hard mode armor that I have, I felt ready to take on the Queen Slime once more. The Gatligator and the Daedalus Stormbow were both a perfect team in this matchup. The Daedalus taking care of the first phase, and the Gatligator taking care of the second. I highly recommend getting these two items if you decide to get it. I went ahead and did it, and I managed to get the flying mount from the Queen Slime, and I'm fairly happy about that, as the flying mount is actually quite useful for future bosses to come. And with that, guys, we will go ahead and call that this episode. We got a lot of work done today. We got 4 biomes created. We got a full boss and hard mode done. We have some hard mode gear, and we have an inclination on what we need to do next to get to the next level. So you can guarantee on the next episode, there is one thing on our mind. Mechdusa. See you then.